So good morning. My name is Francia, and today we're going to be practicing a vinyasa flow with a little bit of an ashtanga flair. So we're going to try to put in kind of like the first five foundational postures of ashtanga, so that you can kind of start kind of creating a nice foundation for, a little deeper practice. So we'll start today with in our seated positions with our eyes closed. Zena, the yoga girl, is about to come through the screen. Don't mind her. And then we'll kind of relax the shoulders and just soften the breath. So let's come into a deep awareness of our breathing. At first, just by noticing the inhale and the exhale. Noticing the length, the depth, the rhythm, the pace, the measure of the breath. Just become aware. Notice how the breath feels within the body. Notice how the breath feels when it comes out or exits the body. And then our first kind of movement or practice today will be a little pranayama practice of resonating breath, which just only means that as we observe the breath, we're going to try to control the inhale and the exhale. So the inhale begins by breathing in and maybe for a count of 4 or 3. Then we pause a little bit at the top of the inhale, and then we release the exhale breath to double that count. So if you did 3, you would breathe out for 6. If you did 4, you would breathe out for 8. And then pause at the end of the exhale and repeat again. So breathing in for 3 or 4. Pausing at the top of the breath, and then exhaling for 6 or 8. Again, inhale, pause, retain the breath just ever so slightly, very calm. You're not trying to force the breath. And then exhale very gently, slowly, letting that breath flow out. And extend it to that 6 or 8 count, depending on the length of your inhale breath. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. A little bit of a pause, retention. Exhale. A little bit of a pause, emptying the body. And then again, inhale, last one. And exhale. And gently blink the eyes open. Awareness back into our space, soften the shoulders. We'll open with the hands in prayer, open the sacred space of our practice with the sound Om. Release the hands down. We're going to come off our cushion to start standing today. So the Ashtanga yoga method always kind of has the same postures kind of geared up in the same sequencing. And we usually start with Surya Namaskara A followed by Surya Namaskara B. So we'll come to the top of our mats, the toes and heels together, arms down by the sides, soften shoulders, chin nice and grounded, kind of parallel to the floor. We'll begin with Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up, extend. Gazing up towards thumbs, draw in through belly, strong legs. Exhale, gently forward fold. Hinge from the hips. You can soften your knees here. If you're feeling a little tight in your hamstrings or a little tight in your lower back, soften the knees and let your body fold over your legs as you relax the head. Inhale, lift halfway, creating a sense of space. Here's a good time to try to straighten your legs, but maybe they won't go straight all the way. Exhale, pull in through the belly, plant your hands as you bend your knees plant your hands on the floor as you bend your knees, and then step or walk your feet back to come to your high plank. So find your high plank here, engage the core, engage the shoulders, and then exhale, let's go ahead, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up into upward facing, opening the heart, letting the hips and the glutes kind of relax, so you're sinking the hips down, feeling the straightness in the legs, tops of the feet press into the floor. And then exhale, curl over the toes, come back to your downward facing dog, and let's hold this one for about 5 breaths. So the first downward facing dog, you're welcome to pedal out the legs, bending and straightening through the legs, swaying through the hips. Keep drawing in through the lower belly. Engage into the shoulders here, so pulling the shoulders away from the ears and kind of wrapping them around the sides, letting the head hang. Your drishti, or your gaze, is towards your navel. Mine is towards, the yoga dog, but keep your gaze nice towards your navel, engaging into your quadriceps a little bit here. Let's hold one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then inhale, looking forward. Easy step or walk or tiptoe your feet forward. Zina, you want to siéntate because my students need to see me. Sit down. I'll go over there. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, fold again. That's where she goes. Inhale, arms up, extend, coming all the way up. Palms come together. Reach up to the fingertips. Exhale gently, hands down by your sides. So we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up, extend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, easy step. Walk back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. If chaturanga is tough for you, you can do knees down, chest down. Exhale, downward facing. And if upward facing is tough for you, you can do cobra as well. So remember, modifications are included in every practice, which makes this a true all-level practice, so that you can do with your body what your body's ability to do that day is. So you don't have to force yourself into anything. Your body's not ready to do. So as we hold our second downward facing dog, try to keep the legs straight, pressing the heels down towards the earth, even if they don't touch. Imagine reaching your rib cage towards your thighs. Let your head hang, gaze towards the upper thighs. Strong fingers and knuckles pressing deeply into the floor, engaging into the shoulders, wrapping the armpits around. Let's hold one more breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And then inhale, looking forward between the hands. Easy tiptoe, walk or step, or even jump your feet forward to the top of your mat. Lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, fold once more. This time, see if you can try to bring the forehead towards the knees. Inhale, arms up, extend, reaching up, palms together, look up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Good. Last one. Inhale, arms up, extend. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, slowly, gently reaching down, forehead towards the knees. Inhale, extend the spine, create space here. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, easy step or walk or jump back to your high plank, and then chaturanga or knees down, chest down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Maybe you can start gazing up towards the sky if you're an up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we hold this one for also 5 breaths. Settling into the sensations of the body, you want to feel your belly button pulling in, your lower abdomen pulling in, creating like a little bit of a hollow space there. Your sits bones pull towards each other as the pubic bone and the tailbone try to meet, engaging into your mula bandha. Pelvic floor muscles engaging, drawing up, and reaching and extending through the sacrum. Find length here. One more breath. Exhale fully. Inhale, looking forward, easy step, walk, or you can try a little jump or a little hop. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, arms up, extending all the way up, reach, palms touch, look towards thumbs. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Good. So that was 3 A's. We're going to do 2 Surya Namaskar B's. This one we bend the knees. Inhale, draw the arms up. Keep the elbows towards each other. Shoulders pull down away from the ears, gazing up. Exhale, gently forward fold. Hinging from the hips, reach the top of the head down, extend. Inhale, lift halfway, creating space. Exhale, you can try stepping, walking, or also jumping. Your feet back to your high plank and then lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, opening through the heart, lifting the chest. Exhale, downward facing. And then from here, we're going to take the left heel down and step the right foot forward between the hands. Great big step. Sink down into your right knee so your right thigh is parallel to the floor. And then inhale, rise up. Palms together, look up towards your thumbs. Keep pressing the left hip forward, left leg straight. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right foot steps back. And again, chaturanga or knees down, chest down. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Then we do the left side. Right heel pivots in, left foot all the way between the hands. Kind of settle in for a moment. Inhale, arms come up. Reach up and extend. Press right hip forward, shoulders back, elbows towards each other. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot steps back. Back to our high plank and back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. This one again, just as before, we hold 5 breaths. 1. Check in with your body here. 2, make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Hip width and your hands are parallel to each other. Shoulder width. 3. Try to slow down your breathing. 4. And 5. Good. Inhale, step or walk or jump. Your feet forward. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, softly release. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms come up. Reach up, extend. Exhale, back to Samasthiti. Good. Last one. Hopefully you're starting to feel the heat that's being built up here as we move. This is how we warm up the body, getting ready. So inhale, bend the knees, arms up, extend, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or walk or jump. Chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, coming to upward facing. If you're looking up, try to bring your eyes to the tip of your nose. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot steps forward, left heel down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, come back down. Right foot steps back, same exhale breath, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, go back. Left side now, right heel plants, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Deep breath in, let the breath guide you. Exhale, lower down. Keep exhaling as you come all the way down to low. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Good. Everyone hold here. Downward facing dog. Keep belly drawn in. Easy, steady breath. If you're feeling really tired and it's been quite some time since you've practiced yoga, you might want to take a balasana here, a child's pose. That's an option for you. Otherwise, see what you can do. Maintain the integrity of your downward facing dog by keeping the hips reaching up and back, a length in the spine. One more breath. And then inhale, looking forward, step, walk, or jump. Lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, arms up. Open the chest, sit down through the hips. Exhale, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Okay, the first posture in the Ashtanga series is Padangusthasana. So we're going to separate the feet about hip width apart. And we're going to hinge from the hips as we fold. So if I go sideways and you're hinging from your hips and you start to see that your back is curling and you're locking out your knees and you're like, I can't reach my toes. If that happens to you, if this is you, right? You're gonna bend your knees and you're gonna grab your big toes. So the more you can get rid of the space between the rib cage and the thighs, the better for you. So bend your knees, but at the same time, you don't want to let your knees come out like this, okay? So no knees out to the sides. The knees should be parallel to each other. So as we bend our knees, we reach down, grab the big toes, and then as we exhale, we release the head. So looking forward, your knees should be kind of inside your arms. The side view, still the knees are inside the arms, and then we can start to elevate the hips by beginning to straighten the legs. So here's your choices. If you're in Padangusthasana and your body or the flexibility limits for you, call for you to have your knees bent. You cannot lift your hips up very high. Then you're gonna stay here and then keep pulling on your big toes, drawing the weight forward and lifting the hips as you're ready. What I don't want you to do is try to straighten your back and come into this half lift thing here, because this is not the posture. The posture is in the pull. So if you can straighten your legs and still keep your rib cage against your thighs, then great. If not, then the knees must stay bent, and that's okay too. Move the shoulders away from the ears and pull on those big toes. Keep the belly drawn in tightly and imagine lengthening the top of your head. So one day, the top of your head actually touches the floor. I know, it's a weird thought to think of, but I've seen people actually do it. Now inhale, lift halfway. Now release. See if you can shake out the legs a little bit. Even if they're a little bent, still kind of move around a little bit in the legs. Padahastasana is next. So the legs don't change, the hands do. We're gonna step the hands underneath the feet so that the toes are all the way up by the wrists. All right, good. Now, keep the knees soft so that there's no space. So David, I see space between your thighs and your chest. Get rid of that space, bend your knees more. Yeah, doesn't mean round your back, just keep your knees bent. And then exhale, pull, let your head release between your shoulders and start to lengthen through your legs. So here's one that's the elbows kind of open out to the sides. There's a widening in the shoulders. It's very easy to move the shoulders into the ears in this one. So just keep pressing the head long and moving the shoulders away. Roll the weight forward. You should feel the weight in your wrists. Feels pretty good after all those chaturangas. Keep the belly drawn in. Keep that space gone between rib cage and thighs. And then inhale, lift halfway. We do a lot of like inhale, lift, and then exhale. We just release the exhale breath without letting go of the posture. And then we go ahead and release the hands. Inhale, soften the knees, come back up. Good, very nice. So hopefully you will feel that in the backs of your legs. We're gonna move into the next one, which is Trikonasana. That's at the top of the mat. We're gonna step the right foot back, great big step. And then we're gonna pivot our whole bodies to face the back of our mats. So if this was the front, we just pivot to face the other side. So the right toe is pointing towards the back of the mat and the left heel towards the front of the mat. Now the hips are square and the step is not too big. We can extend the arms and kind of find ourselves in this lifted position. From here, imagine reaching forward with your right arm and reaching out with your left hip. Your left arm just kind of goes along for the ride. And then when you've gone as far as you can go, we're gonna pivot. Let your right hand rest wherever it's gonna rest. So it can be on your shin or on your calf. You can use a block. You can even grab your big toe, your right big toe. And then open your left shoulder and look up towards left thumb. Let's hold this one for 1. Keep the belly drawn in, keep the spine long. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale, gently come back up. Pivot right foot in and the left foot out. So we're going to switch directions now. Still the arms are extended, the legs are straight. Exhale, reach to that left arm. Reach back through the right hip. So you're kind of moving into this left hip, moving the left hip back and down, stacking the hips. Then the left hand can come to shin, can come to your ankle, to the floor, to a block, or you can grab your left big toe. Right arm reaches up and we look up towards the sky or towards the right thumb. Steady the breath. 1. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders. 2. If you have your big toe, pull on your big toe like you want to lift it off the floor. 3, but keep it down. Use the left big toe to keep it down. 4, extend through the body. 5, inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale, let's pivot again to face the back of our mats. And then just kind of rotate your body here. So try to like align your hips to the back of your mat. This one is a twist, Trikonasana B or Pavrita Trikonasana. Take the left arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, bring your right hand to your waist. So you're finding length through this left side body as we kind of move the right hip back and the left hip forward. Now exhale, reach that left arm forward and then release it all the way down to the floor. So you can plant that left hand on the big toe side of your right foot or on the pinky toe side. And if you can't get to the floor, please use a block. So remember, your both legs are straight for this one. Rotate your chest and then reach right arm up and gaze up towards right thumb. 1, belly's drawn in tight. 2, strong left arm. 3, keep breathing. Reach the chest forward. 4, and 5. Good. Exhale. Bring the right hand down so that 2 hands can be on the floor. Inhale, come back up. Maybe extend that left arm again. And then pivot, left arm down. We'll do the other side. So left hand on the waist, right arm up towards the ceiling. Extend through that right arm. So feel the reach starting from the right hip flexors all the way up to the right fingertips. Exhale, reach it forward and all the way down to the floor. Right side or pinky toe side or left toe side of your foot, whichever place is easiest for you. And then slowly rotate the chest, left arm up, look up towards left thumb. 1. It's easier to place that right hand by the big toe side. 2, because it helps to balance more. 3, but if you want to challenge, place it on the pinky toe side of the foot. 4, strong right arm, reach to the left arm, gaze up. And 5, good. Exhale, lower left hand down. Take both hands to the floor, kind of find your balance here. And then inhale, come back up, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, just step it forward. Back to Samasthiti. So the other beautiful thing about Ashtanga is that after we do some postures, we come back to this equal standing pose. Not for long, but we take a moment to come back here. Ardha Konasana. So this one's a little bit tough. We're gonna take that right foot and step it back. Big step again. Now bigger than before. Before the step was a little bit shorter. Make this step quite a bit bigger. So really take a big, big step back, okay? And then we're gonna pivot to face the back again. The reason why we pivot here when we do these postures is because we wanna start with the right leg. So moving that left hip forward, right hip back, bend into your right knee. So you might need to even take a wider step as you come into the bend. And then take your right elbow to the right knee, kind of see how everything feels. You might need to kind of sink into that left hip a little bit more. Take a moment here, just warming up the muscles, noticing how everything feels this morning. If this is okay, you can stay here and reach left arm up and over as you look up towards left thumb. If you want a little bit of a challenge, release right hand to the floor, or you can use a block. And then the same thing, reach left arm up and over, looking up towards left thumb. 1, wherever you are, steady the breath, sink the hips down. 2, 3, press the pinky toe side of the left foot down. 4, and 5. Inhale, reach with your left arm and slowly come back to center. Let's go ahead and pivot. Right foot in, left foot out. So we start up the same way with the other side. Take a moment if you need to adjust or move in any way, and then start bending that left knee. Take the left elbow to the left knee or left thigh, and just kind of sink a little bit, straighten a little bit. Really measure out how far your left thigh can go down comfortably. If you feel good here, we would take that right arm up and over, as we find our side angle here, or going into Parsvakonasana, the actual posture, we would release. Left hand, you can do fingertips, you can do block, or palm down, and then right arm extends up. 1, keep breathing through it. 2, that right leg should be nice and straight. 3, reach with the right arm, gaze up towards right thumb if it doesn't bother your neck. 4, and 5, good. Now inhale, use the right arm to kind of pull you up, and then we're gonna go and pivot to the back wall again. So now we're gonna do Parsvakonasana B. Let's take the left knee to the floor for a moment, and kind of set ourselves up here. So left knee comes down, right knee is bent. All the pivoting is what makes people very confused in Ashtanga. So just remember, when we start the asana, we're facing the back of our mats. And then when we finish, we're facing the front. So from here, we bend into that left knee, sink into the hip, kind of like you're going into a lunge here, and you can keep your left toe tucked under. Then we're gonna twist. So option 1, left elbow outside the right knee, palms together, press into the arms, look back towards right elbow. Easy option here. Let's stay here. Let's not give too many options today. This feels pretty good. Steadying the breath. I'll give you one more option if you wish. You can straighten your left leg if you don't fall out. Steady the breath. Sometimes we fall out of postures. It happens to all of us. So if that's you, take a smile, count it as a break, and get back into it. Oh, my little bird outside is like, it's all good. And then exhale, slowly come back to center. We're gonna kind of shorten the distance a little bit here, and lift up, pivot the legs, come back to the front. So see, now we know we're ending the posture because we're facing the front of the mat. Right knee comes down. And taking a moment here to sink into that left hip. Notice how everything feels. You should not be feeling, any kind of pain sensations here, or really throughout any part of your practice. And then right elbow outside of that left knee. So you really gotta rotate the torso, really twist around to hook the elbow. Once it's hooked, you can press the palms together, and again, sink down, push into the palms, and look back over that left elbow or left shoulder. If you wanna try the challenge, see if I can do it on this side, try to straighten your right leg. And hold here and breathe. 1, keep pressing strongly into the hips. 2, try not to look around, that makes it harder. 3, calm the mind, calm the breath, don't give up. 4, good, and 5. Exhale, release the hands, shorten the distance a little bit so that you can come up comfortably, and back to Samastitihi. Good job. All right, Prasarita Padottanasana is next. So for this one, again, the right foot steps back. I'm gonna step the left foot so I can see you. So right foot steps back behind you, and we're gonna go into a wide stance with the legs. 2 things you wanna acknowledge here. If it's too wide, your hips are gonna be either skew, meaning your dominant side will be kind of tilting in and your non-dominant side will not be kind of square. So square off your hips the best you can. And then check out your toes. If your toes are pointing out, see if you can point them in towards each other, or at the very least parallel to each other, okay? And then the hips are nice and square. We're gonna start with, this is 4 sets, so 4 different ones. Start with the first one, A. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, let's fold here. Bring the hands to the floor. All right, so once the hands come to the floor, you can decide, should I make my stance a little bit wider? Do I have room? Does it feel good? You kind of play around with it. You choose whether you want to stay in the same distance or take a little wider stance. And then from here, exhale and fold deep. So we want to try to bring the top of the head to the floor. So you may need to adjust the distance between your feet. Now we're going to walk our hands in between the legs, the fingertips pointing towards your face, and the elbows parallel to each other. Hold it here. 1, belly's drawn in tight. 2, little softness in the knees is okay, but try not to bend your knees. 3, 4, And 5. Inhale, hands back to the front. Lift up. Exhale there. Don't move. Just exhale. I find that most beginners would we like to kind of bring the feet in a little bit so that you can come up comfortably. So hands on waist, and then see if you can use your core strength, your hip strength to come up. Good, very nice. All right, V position. Inhale, arms out to the sides, lengthen. Exhale, hands behind the back. Interlace your fingers, roll the shoulders back. Actually, this is C position. We're skipping V today. Allow your arms to stay straight. I'm going to turn kind of behind so you guys can see. You want your arms to be as straight as possible and kind of moving away from your body. And then from here, exhale and fold. So now we fold, no hands on the floor. Let the arms rise up and over. You can separate the heels of your hands, but keep your fingers interlocked. Keep the belly drawn in. Relax the shoulders and don't force. Roll the weight forward to the balls of your feet. 3, belly stays drawn in. Keep it in, hold it in. 4, let the arms feel heavy. Deep stretch. And 5, inhale, slowly rise back up. Taking your time. Exhale there. Good. Last one. So D, inhale, hands on waist. Exhale, fold forward, and this time, use your index finger and middle finger to grab your big toes. Lock them in with your thumbs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold once more. Again, trying to bring the top of the head just barely touching the floor. 1, elbows are out. 2, engage your shoulders. 3, belly's drawn in. Try to move your body in between your legs. 4, and 5. Inhale, head up only. Exhale there. You can bring your hands back to center, maybe shorten the distance for your feet. Hands on waist. Inhale, come back up. Woo, good job. Take a moment here, and then go ahead back to Samastitihi. All right, one more standing posture before we come to the floor. We're gonna take our hands behind the back in this prayer position, reverse prayer position. So ideally the palms, the thumbs, and the fingers all line up. If that's not possible for you, hold on to your opposite elbows. This is gonna give you a similar opening in the shoulders. So you get to choose your arm position here. And then big step to the right, not too big, just a little bit, kind of like the first pose, like Trikonasana. Pivot all the way to the back. So remember to pivot your feet all the way to the back of your mat. And then draw in through belly, lift up through your chest. Imagine your elbows moving back towards each other. And then exhale, fold here. We are trying to fold over that right leg, not in between the legs. So move your left shoulder, left hip down a little bit, and then lift through your elbows. Keep gazing towards your toes. Try to bring your chin towards your shin. Really lengthen here through your spine. Keep lifting to the elbows. Hold here. 3. Both legs are straight. No bend in either knee. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale there as you pivot. Face the back, the front of the mat now this time. And then keep the shoulders drawn back, elbows towards each other. Exhale, fold again. Hinging from the hips and leaning forward with a straight back. Try not to round. Usually the position of the hands help us to keep the spine straight. Rotate the right hip and right shoulder forward as you gaze towards your big toes. Reach your chin towards your shin. Hold it. 1, 2. Belly's drawn in tight. 3, deep stretch in the back of that front leg. 4, and 5. Inhale, slowly come back up to center. Pivot your feet to face the side, arms down, back to Samastitihi. Okay, we'll do one balancing pose before we hit the floor. Normally there's 2 balancing poses in ashtanga. We'll practice them next week. Today we're going to try just normal vrikasana or tree pose. So come to stand on your left leg. You can have your right foot by the inside of your right ankle, up underneath the knee by the inside of your left calf, or all the way up so that the heel presses into the groin of the left side body here and the toe points down to the floor. So you get to choose. If you're near a wall, you can use your wall for safety here, for security. But, you know, try it without, because sometimes it's good to just practice and see. And then we're going to bring our hands to prayer, and we're going to find our breath. We're going to hold here. 1. Try to keep the hips square, so try to allow the right hip to sink down as the left hip stays grounded. 2. 3, press into the palms a little bit here, engage into the arms. 4, don't give up, try it again. And 5, good. Exhale the arms, release the right foot, and try to come out with as much control as possible. So try not to kind of flop out of your posture, but really control the entrance and the exit. Now, right foot is grounded, and we're gonna take that left foot at whatever position your body allows you to today. Right heel can press into the groin. You could place it into the, left heel. You can press it into the inner ankle, lower calf. You get to choose. Hands in prayer, allow your hips to remain square. It's very easy to tilt here. So make that extra effort, maybe bringing your hands to your hips and noticing how it feels when they're square. Hands in prayer, shoulders move away from the ears. 1. Strong right leg. 2, belly's drawn in and you're reaching to the top of your head. 3, beautiful trees. 4, almost there, don't give up, try again. And 5, let's come out with so much control here. Just reach down with the left hand, grab that foot, release it down to the floor. So the more control we can have in our balance, the easier. And also too, the mind is kind of like, woo, moving around. Your body will also feel it. All right, so I'm gonna make it down to the floor with 1 vinyasa, similar to Surya Namaskara A. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step, walk, or jump. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. All right, so the other thing that's very kind of signature thing of Ashtanga is this idea of jumping through and jumping back. And I know I've practiced this with you guys in previous classes. So we're gonna break it down again today. We're gonna look forward between the hands. Notice I kind of scooted myself back kind of automatically on my mat. I was up here when I got into my downward facing, and then automatically my go-to is move myself back on my mat. This way I have room to come forward. So we're in this downward facing dog. We're gonna look forward between the hands, and we're gonna try to take the top part of the right foot to the back of the left wrist, which puts the knee in between the 2 arms, between your 2 elbows. Draw in through your belly, fan out through the shoulders like you're in a high plank, and then draw the left foot in. Okay, so now we're in this position that everyone's like, oh, I don't even know how to move from here. Start to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Keep your butt off the floor. Wiggle your feet forward. Keep going, keep going. Extend the legs, and then sit the butt down. So if possible, you want to be able to keep your body lifted using the strength of your arms and shoulders until your legs are fully extended forward. All right, from here we go into Dandasana position. So hands on either sides of your hips and lift your chest. Imagine drawing up and in through your belly and through your rib cage as you tuck your chin down to the chest. Let's hold this one. 1. Dandasana translates, Danda is a stick or a staff. So we want to be stiff like sticks. 2. The feet are flexed, the legs are engaged, nice and straight. 3. So are the arms. 4. Nice, strong, straight arms, no bend in the elbows. And 5, good. Paschimottanasana, exhale, let's fold forward. Reach for the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. If you can't find your big toes, use a strap. So use a strap here so you can keep your spine straight. This is very similar to our standing forward fold. You may need to bend your knees to get your chest to your thighs and fold from there. But once you're here, don't let this be the end all do all. If your knees are bent, and your chest is against your thighs, try to move your heels away from your body to eventually be able to straighten out your legs and fold deeply. 1, 2, kind of let the back muscles relax here. Lengthen to the top of your head. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. Keep holding on. Exhale there. Now we're going to try to deepen the grip. So if you have the strap, walk your hands down the strap. If you have your toes, try to grab the outsides of your feet. If you are able to, maybe even interlace your feet below your the soles of your feet. Interlace your hands below the soles of your feet. And then inhale, lengthen again. Remember, you can do this with the knees soft from the beginning. And then as you exhale, you release and straighten the legs. And then let your body fold here. 1, deeper grip here. 2, keep moving the shoulders away. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up only. Just the head lifts. Exhale. And then release the hands. Normally here we would do a jump back and then another jump forward. We're going to skip it today because I want to get a couple more poses in. So you're going to point your toes, bring your hands behind you. And we can do this with straight legs or we can do this with bent knees. It's like a reverse plank or reverse tabletop. So I'm going to demonstrate it with straight legs. Remember, plant your feet on the floor if you need to. You can also just keep it on the floor and lift your chest. If this is enough opening for your shoulders, you might want to stay here with the toes pointed and the rib cage lifted and the kind of the chin tucked down. If you feel good, you're going to inhale and lift the hips up, press the hips up, and drop the head back with the toes point down towards the floor. 1, 2, you can also do this with your knees bent and kind of elevate here for the hips. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, lower everything back down. Take a moment here, kind of shake out the legs. All right, so we're gonna try to jump back and jump forward before we do the next 2. Cross your feet, hug them in towards your body. You wanna get rid of that space, so really squeeze your legs in. You can start by squeezing with your arms and then release your arms, but keep your legs squeezed in. So sometimes we squeeze in with the arms, but when we release the arms, the legs go back out here. So keep them in, hands on other sides of your hips. Inhale, kind of roll forward. So keep that space gone between your body and your legs. Round your back like cat. Lift up, pressing into the tops of your feet and your hands. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Get those feet back. Stay lifted in your arms. Step 1 leg back, other leg back. We're in our chaturanga. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. You might find that your feet kind of come off the mat at that last few, and then you can walk them back onto the mat and find yourself in downward facing dog. All right, let's repeat the jump through one more. So look forward. This time let's start the left leg first. So left leg, top of the left foot, near the right wrist, right foot on the other side. Stay strong here. Don't let the butt come down. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Keep wiggling, keep the butt up. Straighten one leg, straighten the other. Sit down. Woo, good job. Okay, so the last 2 have to do with our hips. Rebecca, be real careful with these because you want to make sure that you don't overdo it and have a prop that you can place under your knees if necessary. We'll start with the right leg. Take the right foot up on top of the left thigh like a half lotus. Option, if this is not available for you, is to try it and then place something underneath the knee. See if that creates enough support. Option 2 is to do Janu Trishasana A, which is the foot on the floor. So, and then the sole of the foot parallel to the left thigh. So if you can, half lotus. If not, you do Janu A. If you have the foot in half lotus, take your right arm around and see if you can find your foot with your right hand. So you're gonna grip your big toe. This creates a deep opening in this half bind with the right shoulder. If you're in Janu Trishasana with the foot on the floor, don't worry about the bind. Just take both hands to the left foot. And then exhale, fold here. Yeah, good, very nice. And if you're reaching around and you can't find your foot, you can place a strap around your foot and then grab the strap, or if you can use a towel, anything like that will work. And fold here, 1, 2, try to bring your chin towards your knee, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale, head up only. Exhale there. Inhale, come up and release. Release the right leg. Okay, now we're going to switch and do the other side. Normally we would do a move back and move forward. We'll add those on later on. For now, we're just going to work on the asanas. So bring that left foot either to the inside of the right thigh, like Janu Shirshasana A, or up on top of the right thigh in a half lotus, placing something underneath the left knee if you need it. Notice as we come forward, this knee will automatically come forward towards the floor. So even if you feel like you need it here, wait and see if you need it when you fold forward. And then if you're in half lotus, reach around, see if you can find that foot. If you're not in half lotus, just keep both hands towards the right foot. Hold on to that right foot with 1 or 2 hands. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. So see that left knee automatically comes down as we come forward. So the floor becomes our support and we don't need anything else underneath it. And then as we exhale, we fold deep, trying to bring the chin towards the shin or kissing the right knee. Keep that right foot flexed and engaged. 1, 2, steady breathing. 3, deep inhale, slow exhale. 4, and 5. Inhale, head up only. Exhale there, and slowly release. Good. Release the left leg, bring both legs forward, kind of shake them out a little bit. This one's Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. This is a complicated name for a little bit of a complicated posture. We're going to stay in our Dandasana or staff pose, but we're going to lean to the left and bring that right foot back so that the right leg is bent and the top of the right foot is on the outside of your hip. Options here, if you need, you can take a cushion or a rolled up towel or even a yoga block, place it underneath your left hip because you want to make sure that your hips are even and you don't want to be sitting on your heel. The heel should be right outside your hip. So you want to keep the hips even. If you don't need it, if you're able to kind of sit on the floor and still keep evenness in your hips, then that's fine. Right knee should not hurt. If this is enough, you feel the stretch here, you feel this is working, bring your hands to the floor on either sides of your body, and then kind of lift your chest and stay there. If you can, maybe hinge forward from the hips, take your hands and wrap around your left foot as you exhale, fold deep. Wherever you are, hold 1, 2, 3, keep that right side of your body heavy, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up only, exhale, release. Good. So we're gonna lean to the left, release that right leg, shake it out for a moment, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So lean to the right, bring that left leg back, take a moment to adjust. Remember, placing something underneath your right hip will definitely help keep the hips square and, feeling more comfortable in this posture. Make sure that left foot is on the outside of the left hip. You're not sitting on it. Hands are on other sides and you can just be here. This is a good stretch. Deep stretch in the left quad, and this is a deep bend in the knees. So if you have any kind of knee injuries, this may not be accessible for you. So just play it out and see what happens. And then exhale, we're gonna fold from here only when you're ready. Maybe reaching the arms forward and then creating your clasp, either holding onto the foot or the opposite hand. And then exhale, fold deep. 1, keep the left side of your body heavy. 2, if you find yourself really tipping to the right, you cannot come forward with your hands to your foot, but instead keep them out to the sides. 3, 4, bring that left hip down as much as you can. And 5, inhale, head up only. Exhale there, release the arms, and coming back as you lean to the right, extend left leg, shake it out a little bit here. It's good. Not sure how much time I have left. See if I can add one more. Oh, I don't have much time left. All right, so we're gonna end our practice today with 4 more poses, but these are really quick. So the first one is gonna be our shoulder stand. So lay on your back. And then we'll allow your shoulders to kind of settle down, taking a couple of easy breaths. And then we're gonna lift the legs. You can do this last posture if you are on your moon cycle, if you're a woman, if you are just feeling like the neck doesn't want to support the weight or the shoulders don't want to support the weight, your neck is bothering you, this is a good place to stay. If you want to go into Salamba Sarangasana, you're going to use your arms and then lift into your legs. You're going to use your core. Lift up, bring your hands to your lower back, kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here as well. And then reach to the toes, point the toes, and we hold our shoulder stand. 1, we're holding it for 5 today. 2, 3, remember you can stay with your hips down. 4, and 5. Halasana, exhale, lower all the way down so that the legs come over your head. Toes can come to the floor, or if they don't come to the floor, just please keep your hands at your lower back to support you. Don't let your legs be in limbo. Keep the toes down, and then you can release the arms. 1, belly's drawn in, hips up. 2, legs are straight. 3, look towards your navel. 4, and 5. Exhale, let's lower all the way down to the floor. Once you're all the way down, let the legs come all the way down, and we're gonna go into our last posture, which is our fish pose, Matsyasana. So press into your elbows, lift your chest, kind of slide your elbows back, and let's try to get the top of the head to the floor. Once the top of the head is on the floor, you no longer need your elbows. So extend your arms onto your thighs. 1, point through your toes, lift your chest. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release the arms, release the head. Come to your Shavasana. Relax the shoulders, steady the breath. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. Letting all of that go. Let your body be completely still. See if you can go back to maybe that nice, easy breathing, where it's effortless, where you're not controlling or retaining or sustaining the breath in any way. You're simply aware of the breath coming in and the breath flowing out. Scan through your body for any places that might still be holding on to tension after a practice. Sometimes you'll surprise yourself and it'll be the least expected spot that is holding on to a bit of tightness or tension. And if you find that spot, then you can allow the breath to move into that place. If you can imagine a knot, it would be creating space in between the knot. And creating that space with your breath. Separating, opening up, allowing room, space creating. And gently as we exhale, we're going to start to add a little bit of movement to the fingers, a little bit of movement through the toes. We start by gently reawakening the body, letting the movement spread to the hands, the feet, the wrists, the ankles, forearms, the lower legs. And then let's bend the knees, let the feet come up. So that they're planted on the floor. Separate your knees pretty wide, maybe even as wide as your mat. And for the first moment here, let's just let the knees rest together. One hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Ground your energy. Let yourself be completely still, supported by the earth below you. Feel the movement of the breath beneath your hands as your belly and chest rise and fall, like the tide coming in to shore and back out to sea. Then we're going to add a little bit of movement to the legs. So letting the feet stay apart, just let the left knee fold in as the right knee opens up. Maybe you start to kind of move up into that left hip. You can keep your arms down by your sides, or you can have them up overhead, or you can keep them at your belly and chest. And then let's do the other side. Hold there for a few moments, just letting gravity allow the hips to relax. A little bit of a twist. Again, left side. Hold, steady the breath, let that right knee sink down, left knee sinks down. Inhale back to center, last time to the left. So left leg opens out, right knee sinks down. A little bit of a twist, you'll feel it in your right side rib cage and hip. And then gently back to center, bring both knees into the chest. Just give yourself a nice tight hug. A nice loving hug. Say thank you to your body. Allow the shoulders to soften and take a couple more deep breaths here as you squeeze the legs. The feet are side by side. And then exhale, roll over onto your side. Take a moment or two here. Inhale, press up through the hands and allow yourself back to a seated position. So we won't be here very long, so you don't need to grab a cushion or anything. Just come to a comfortable seated place, however that's comfortable for you. And then just take a couple of moments here to reconnect with your breath. Come into that vibration of gratitude, of feeling grateful for your body, your practice, your day, your family, your job, all of the things in your life that make your life wonderful and special. Even the things that are difficult, because those things allow us to grow and to evolve. So kind of look at all of these things, all of these aspects of your life with an equanimous heart, and just feel grateful, feel gratitude for it all. As we exhale, we'll draw the palms together at the center of the heart, symbolizing that union of body, mind, and spirit. And then we'll inhale to complete our practice with one sound, Om. Namaste.